Board meeting in order for Tuesday, March 11th, 2025. I do ask if you have any electronic devices that you please turn them down or turn them off so as not to disturb the meeting. First item is a roll call, please.
Trustee Patel.
Present.
Trustee Clare.
Present.
Trustee Sullivan.
Present.
Trustee Madej.
Present.
Trustee Bishki.
Present.
Trustee LaRosa.
Present.
All present
And
and
President
accounted.
Daley, I'm sorry, President Daley.
All present and accounted for. Welcome to our temporary digs. We'll be here this meeting and I believe next. Yes, so I got this meeting and the next meeting, and then we'll move into other temporary digs. So, next item is the Pledge of Allegiance. So we don't have a flag here. Oh, we do. It's behind me, over here. Okay. Trustee Patel, would you like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you. Thank you, Trustee Patel. Next item is the approval of minutes from February 25th, 2025. Any questions, comments?
Motion to move. Second.
So motion and a second to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next item is the approval of expenditures for $8,501,149.95. Questions, comments?
Approve as presented. Second.
Motion and a second to approve as presented. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Patel.
Aye.
Trustee Clare.
Aye.
Trustee Sullivan.
Aye.
Trustee Madej. Trustee Bishki.
Aye.
Trustee LaRosa.
Aye.
All ayes, no nays, motion carries. Thank you. Next item is liquor license requests, which we have none for this evening. Consent agenda. The consent agenda will be read in its entirety, voted on as one motion to approve. If you wish to discuss an item further, please indicate that when the item is read by the village clerk so that it can be removed from the consent agenda, discussed further under committee reports. Otherwise, all items will be approved as presented on the consent agenda. Will the clerk please read the consent agenda?
Number 1, correspondence. The motion would be to approve the request from Hoffman Schaumburg Knights of Columbus to fundraise from sunrise to sunset on September 19th and 20th, 2025 at the intersections of Schaumburg Road and Meacham Road and Roselle and Wise Road. 2, Health and Human Services. The motion would be to adopt the proposed Community Health Improvement Plan, CHIP. B, the motion would be to approve the 2024 Community Development Block Grant CDBG Action Plan Amendment. 3, Transportation Committee. The motion would be to authorize the village manager and village clerk to execute a change order for Spring and Scooth Road improvements, Phase 1 preliminary engineering services with Himley Horn and Associates, Inc. in the amount of $115,869 and approve the required resolution. 4, Planning, Building, and Development Committee. A, the motion would be to approve the 2025 annual entertainment license for Sky Zone Trampoline Park located at 580 East Gulf Road. B, the motion would be to approve the 2025 annual entertainment license for Altitude Trampoline Park Cube Challenges located at 1317 East Gulf Road. C, the motion would be to approve the 2025 annual entertainment license for Zero Latency located at 309 West Gulf Road. D, the motion would be to approve an increase to the purchase order with TPI Consultants, Inc. of South Elgin, Illinois, in an amount not to exceed $975,061. E, the motion would be to approve the amendment to the Village Electrical Code revising the local amendment Article 290.91 of the 2020 National Electrical Code pertaining to installation of collar adapters. F, the motion would be to adopt modifications to the State Electrical Vehicle Charging Act, Public Act 103-0053, SB 0040, pertaining to a reduction in the amount of electric vehicle capable charging spaces for large multifamily development and refer the zoning code amendments to the zoning board and adopt Article 625, Electric Vehicle Power Transfer System, and Article 750, Energy Management Systems of the 2023 National Electrical Code. 5, Plan Commission. The motion would be to approve an amendment to the Village Comprehensive Plan, Northeast Schaumburg Gateway Designs Guidelines and Concept Plan. 6, Zoning Board of Appeals. The motion would be to approve a sign variation for an additional ground site for Cloud 9 Cannabis Dispensary, 1823 West Wise Road. B, the motion would be to approve a special use for an internet auto sales facility for DK Auto Sales, Inc., 537 Morse Avenue. C, the motion would be to approve a special use for an internet auto sales facility for Nomad Auto Group, 617 West Wise Road, Unit 617.
Mr. President, I'd like to have the record show that no on this item.
D,
Okay.
D, the motion would be to approve an amendment to Municipal Code Title 15, Chapter 154 zoning pertaining to exterior storage for auto repair body business. 7, award of bid. The motion would be to award the bid for the 2025 annual concrete repair program to the lowest responsible bidder, Schroeder & Schroeder, Inc. of Skokie, Illinois, in the amount of $1,400,000. B, the motion would be to award the bid for the sidewalk gap program, Algonquin Road, College Drive to Palatine Trail, to the lowest responsible bidder, Everlast Blacktop, Inc. of Elgin, Illinois, in the amount of $127,603.52. C, the motion would be to award a bid for the 2025 Community Development Block Grant, CDBG, annual sidewalk program to the lowest responsible bidder, Miller Pipeline LLC of Mount Prospect, Illinois, in the amount of $169,000. 8, workers' compensation. A, the motion would be to approve settlement for workers' compensation claim from February 10th, 2021 for Cheryl Roski in an amount not to exceed $124,822.41 and approve the required resolution. 9, resolutions. A, the motion would be to adopt as resolution number R-25-013, authorizing the village manager and village clerk to execute a change order for Spring and Guth Road improvements, Phase 1 preliminary engineering services with Kimley Horn and Associates, Inc. in the amount of $115,869. B, the motion would be to adopt as resolution number R-25-014, approving settlement of workers' compensation case of Cheryl Roski. 10, ordinances. A, the motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance number 25-026, granting a sign variation for an additional ground sign for Cloud 9 Cannabis Dispensary, 1823 West Wise Road. B, the motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance number 25-027, granting a special use for an internet auto sales facility for DK Auto Sales, Inc., 537 Morse Avenue. C, the motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance number 25-028, granting a special use for an internet auto sales facility for Nomad Group, 617 West Wise Road, Unit 617.
I'll also like to vote no on that.
So noted.
D, the motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance number 25-029, amending Title 11, Chapter 129F, and Title 15, Chapter 154 of the Schaumburg Village Code with regard to exterior storage for auto repair business. E, the motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance number 25-030, amending Title 15 of the Schaumburg Village Code relative to electric meter collar adapters. F, the motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance number 25-031, amending Title 15 of the Schaumburg Village Code relative to 2023 National Electrical Code Standards for electrical vehicle power transfer systems and energy management systems. G, the motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance number 25-032, amending the Village of Schaumburg Comprehensive Plan to include Northeast Schaumburg Gateway Design Guidelines and Concept Plan. This concludes the consent agenda.
Thank you. Look for motion to approve the consent agenda with item 6 under Zoning Board of Appeals, item C under Zoning Board of Appeals. Trustee Madej is a no, and under ordinances, item C, Trustee Madej also a no on that item.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Patel.
Aye.
Trustee Clare.
Aye.
Trustee Sullivan.
Aye.
Trustee Madej.
Aye.
Trustee Bischke.
Aye.
Trustee LaRosa.
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays, motion carries. Next is committee reports, of which we have none at this time. Comments from the public. This is an opportunity to speak before the village board regarding items that are pertinent towards the village. And we ask that you keep your comments to no more than 3 minutes. If you have anything, hold forth. Please step forward, give us your name and address for the record.
Hi, my name is Dr. Umar Tariq. I live at, I bought a property at 821 South Braintree. First of all, thank you very much, dear trustees, for all your services to the village. I bought this property on December 20th was the closing date. I went to look at this property in November, and I was looking to get to this property as an investment for short-term rentals. So I looked at the village code, from which the last amendment we had was from October 2023. I looked at that law, and it didn't specify anything that would stop me from doing this investment. So I purchased this property, I invested close to 20K in it, put furniture in it, and I applied for short-term license. Next thing I know, that 10 days before the closing, you guys passed a new amendment that there couldn't be any short-term rental if there's another short-term rental within 750 square feet, and it can't be in the name of an LLC, it needs to be in my name. I wasn't aware of it, and this just happened 10 days before my closing. There was no way for me to know. When I was looking at it, with the law that it was from the village, it was from last year, from 2023 at that time, a year before. That didn't specify any of this, so I ended up making this investment. So I'm requesting from the trustees if there can be an exception or a variance made, since this was just so close to the closing, and it ended up happening just 10 days before the closing that the new amendment was made. Thank you.
So you did go ahead and close then?
Yes, I ended up, because I wasn't even aware of this new law, and I ended up finding about this law later in Jan-Feb when I applied for the license.
Okay. So
Thank you.
prior to that, you had not contacted the village?
No, I looked at the, I have a copy of the
I understand,
Constitution
but-
from October
okay.
2023.
The other reason I was going to say is because the changes had been under discussion for a year.
Right,
So it was not something new.
Sure.
It didn't just come up, we didn't just decide, it had been going on extensively, certainly all summer, and into the fall. And if you had contacted the village, you would have known. Somebody would have said, hey, look, they're looking at changing the laws here. We hadn't settled on anything at that point, of course, but,
Right.
But at that point, we did want to put in some changes. So I understand the predicament you're in, but open the board for any conversation. Trustee Clark?
So which, is it the 750-foot rule, or is it the LLC? Which
Well, LLC is not a problem. It's the 750 square foot rule that I
It's not
wasn't.
square feet, it's 750 feet apart from the close.
Yeah, so I don't know which property it is. I'm just told by the village that there is another property operating with the license, so I can't get a license. So it just puts me in a weird specific position that I would be losing 30 to 40K that I have put in from this transaction. So I'm requesting if the trustees could be kind enough to grant me a variance so that I can get my short-term license on this property. And for future, yes, this has been a learning experience for me. This is my first property in the village of Schaumburg. So I learned that, just don't rely on the Constitution on the website. I probably, for future, I will reach out to the village directly before I close on any further property.
Yes, Julie or somebody from staff, if there's any.
Probably best
Yeah,
for
we
legal
have-
counsel.
Yeah.
So the doctor indicated the basic background. How he became aware of it is Vicki Bloomer in the Planning Division and Enforcement monitors advertisements for short-term rental. She discovered this property being advertised. There was no license for it. This was brought to his attention. And so he then applied for a license, but all this began in January of 2025 after the ordinance was passed. There is grandfathering, but it's only for those short-term rentals that were licensed prior to the effective date and were closer than 750 feet. The doctor can certainly, monitor that property. He can discover what the address is of that property. It's not a secret, but it is a validly licensed, compliant short-term rental that is within the 750 feet, and he's not grandfathered. So that's his current status.
Right. So I'm just requesting, since I wasn't aware of this law, and I'm just requesting as a good gesture, if it's
So
conveniently
you
possible.
were advertising it before you applied for it?
No, so what my understanding was,
We came out there and said you needed a license.
it was actually, so we received a letter on Jan 16th, and we applied for the license on Jan 22nd. Like I said, we purchased the property on December 20th. For the first 3 weeks, we were doing repairs and bringing it up to speed. So within 4 days or 5 days, we applied for the license, and we took the listing down afterwards as well. And within, I think there was a misunderstanding. We thought that we can have the listing up with a pending license. But anyhow, the question is now, we settled that. I was here, and we had a hearing about it. We paid the fine, we settled that. The question now I have for you is, I have already pending long-term license for long-term rental, but I would appreciate if we can somehow grant a variance, since this closing was only 10 days after the motion was passed.
But you were already advertising it as a short-term rental.
Right,
before you
exactly.
got a license.
100%, yes. That did happen. And I paid for the fine for that. And again, that's ignorance on my part. My management company told me that they had a license, but what I wasn't aware of, the license needs to be particular to a property. The management company was saying that they already have license for the other two properties that they're managing.
They were probably talking about a rental license, not a short-term rental.
No, they do manage short-term rental, 2 other properties in Schaumburg. That's what the misunderstanding was, that there needs to be a specific license for every single property.
Other questions, comments?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it was a poor decision on your side. You may want to switch your investment into maybe a long-term.
Sure, that's what I'm doing. I have a pending license for long-term with the village. But right now I have furniture sitting at this place. That place is ready to go. Because of the circumstances involved, I'm requesting if it can be considered for a variance to this law, since this happened so close to the property being set up and the closing. Thank you.
Other comments, questions from the board? Anyone, as it stands right now, so he's not allowed to do short-term. He can certainly indicates applied for long-term, for a regular rental license. Is there any interest in doing short-term? Anyone? No.
Okay. So-
Sorry, it's unfortunate you got caught in that. I think your point about making sure to cover all your bases, so in the future of purchasing other properties, so hopefully you're successful here, but don't, not too loud, but don't trust realtors.
Yeah.
Investigate your own, and just, always call the village.
Absolutely.
Certainly,
Yeah, that's what I learned from
Whether
this
it's
experience.
Schaumburg or some other community, but,
Right.
Check in and see what's going on, and is there something that you should be.
Okay. Last question I have is, like, is there a way the property that's within 750 feet, if I can find out the address, and if they ever, let's say, go out of business, then in that case I can shift it?
I assume you can go on Airbnb and find it there.
No, they don't list the address.
Yeah.
Airbnb, you don't know.
So
the
they
address.
can, so the address of all the licensed Airbnbs is not exempt under FOIA. The personal information is, but, and then you can certainly track that. I don't know if the village has any way of tracking it for you. I don't think so. But you could certainly track it so that if that license is given up, then you wouldn't, and no other one,
Right,
somewhere
that's what I
else,
want to
you-
do, is like in
you have to
future,
mo-
then
you
I would
have
apply
to-
for short-term
You would
license.
have to do your own due diligence, but
Okay.
there is a way to get that address
FOIA
under freedom
solves
of
it then.
information.
Okay,
Or if it's
thank you.
not, or
Thank
if
you
it's
very much.
not renewed.
Yeah,
an
yeah,
annual
exactly. In
license.
that case, I will reply for that. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Okay, anyone else? All right, we'll move on, council report.
No council report.
Okay, president's report, none for this evening, other than just to mention again that we have a meeting obviously here this evening, not our normal chambers. We will again be here 2 weeks from today, and then we will be in the new temporary, I guess, temporary location following that, which is at 1000 Woodfield Road, which will be our home for 18 months, and ultimately come back to a new village hall. Manager's report.
add on to that, village business that needs to be done between that time and Monday, the 17th, will need to be done either remotely or with a very specific appointment, a specific person. And then the building will remain closed. The Atcher Municipal Center will remain closed through the 24th, at which time all village services and programs will commence at 1,000 units. So we've got a little bit of an interim period where there's some departments operating at 1,000 Woodville, some operating at 101, but as of the 24th, everything will be open.
Okay, thank you. New business? No new business. Unfinished business, none listed. Trustee comments, mentions? None for this evening. Look for a motion to adjourn.
Second.
So motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much.